Welcome to Meet You at the Top podcast with your host Magda
and Elphi Bolombo. Today we have a fellow entrepreneur, a fellow podcaster, okay? He runs a Black is the New Rich podcast. We have Cory Cash.
Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome to our show.
Yeah, how does it feel to be on the opposite end of the table?
To be honest, it feels a little weird because I'm used to asking all the questions, so answering them. Let's see how it goes.
All right.
Well, today we are asking all them questions, okay?
Not holding back.
Okay, so before we get into your podcast and what led you to that, we want to know a little bit more about you. What were you doing before that? You know, I know a little bit about you. You know, I know you've done a little bit of a transformation.
Yeah, for sure. How far do you want to go?
Let's go all the way back.
We want the real juice.
All right, so I came out of college. No, we'll start with college.
Okay.
I dropped out like 3 times. College, I went to Sheridan College. I played ball there. Most people know me as like a hooper or whatever. And then by the time college was ending, you know, I was still like super broke at that time. I'm like, yo, what am I doing here? You know, I didn't like any of my programs. So then I just made some different decisions, decided to go to the street stuff and
What's the street stuff?
Allegedly. I don't want to be allegedly, just the street stuff to make a little bit of extra cash fast and big amounts or whatever. And then I was doing that for a while, but I needed it because I feel like it was like part of my search to find out who I was and what I was made of, to be honest. You know? So I did that for a while, and then around like 27, I picked up a camera. I was like, you know what? I could do this camera thing. So I went to YouTube and Google University, and I learned everything about a camera. And then I did nude photography for a while, and that went crazy when I started to do it. I traveled all over the world doing that.
No way.
In like 2018, I went to 10 places in 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, to do a lot of shooting and meet a lot of people. So that was lit. And then
did that replace your fast cash?
I'll still knee deep.
It's hard to let go.
I'll still knee deep. I'm not gonna lie to you. It helped, but obviously people are addicted on both sides.
Yeah.
Right.
Like users and myself, and I realized that in the pandemic, and that's why I had to put it away. You know, so yeah.
What got you into nude photography opposed to just like regular photography?
So to be honest, I was always into it because I always appreciated other people's work, and I'm like, you know what, I could do this. And then one of my homegirls was like, you know, why don't you shoot me? I was like, yeah, really?
Yeah, really?
I was like, all right, let's get it. Let me see what I could do. And then I did my first shoot, and it got a lot of traction on Instagram, and it was over from there.
Was this, when you started the new photography, was this kind of like in the beginning? I mean, Instagram was already always hyped up, but was that like when Instagram was at its peak with the IG girls?
Was it at its peak? It was growing. So it wasn't like what it is today. Like, for example, like I feel like the OnlyFans type of stuff has heightened things. OnlyFans wasn't a thing when I was doing it, when I was deep into it. So, yeah, sorry, what was your question again?
He got distracted. No, I'm joking. Basically, I was just wondering when you were doing the new photography, because I would imagine if you were doing it now, it would be like, you were already there, but it would be like quadruple.
No, it'd be, you're 100% right, because of like the OnlyFans factor, and everybody's doing it, and everyone wants to be a model, and everyone wants to be a photographer.
True.
So if I did it in 2023, it would have been, I'd had a lot different reaction to it.
Yeah.
How did you find your models? Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them?
A little bit of both. When I started posting, a lot of models would reach out to me, and I would reach out to them, and just basically like that, social media.
All right. So what made you leave the industry?
Ooh, good question. Okay.
So we're here for, baby.
So, pandemic, obviously we couldn't do what we wanted to do, and I couldn't shoot. So I felt like I was losing my mind in the pandemic. Like, okay, I can't shoot. I'm a creative, and I can't do what I, what I love to do.
Right.
So I had a lot of time to sit down and think about, like, you know, how I want to move forward with my life. And then the George Floyd incident happened with the cop's knee on his neck and how he died. And that struck a nerve for me. I was like, you know what? I can't ignore this for any longer. And for me, no disrespect to anybody that's on the street marching when it comes to those Black Lives Matter situations. But that was never going to be me, to be honest, because I feel like that just is like, I don't know. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, you know, what way can I impact the community? And I chose podcasting because at the time I deemed myself as financially illiterate. So I was like, you know what better way to get free coaching right now with the interviews that I do and teach the community at the same time. And I have the camera knowledge from doing photography and videography. So I was like, you know, it's a win-win, and that's kind of where it started.
That's cool.
That's awesome. So
What's that?
sorry, I'm tripping out.
Spit it out.
Okay, so basically the George Floyd incident is kind of what inspired you to start the podcast.
Yeah.
But I know you mentioned one thing, which is what your podcast is kind of built up, which is the financial literacy and learning from all different people who are doing well. So when you were making when you were making fast cash, do you think that, you know, you would have invested that money differently with the knowledge you have now?
Let me tell you guys, the amount of money I've blown, it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. But I needed to do it because at the end of the day, like, now on how I treat money and how I look at it and how I respect it is a lot different. I would have, if I had the knowledge, if I had the guidance, even then, to even flip it or put it somewhere where it could grow, I'd be in a lot different position today.
Yeah, but I feel like you have to lose money to respect it.
100%,
you know what I mean?
and that's why I said, like,
Wow, fast.
no, 100%. I don't regret anything that I've lost, and plus, since then I've had a lot of material deaths. I was into a lot of like the name brand stuff. You know, I have a BMW at like 22. That shit doesn't matter now.
No.
You know, I've done that. I've been all over the world. Like, that shit doesn't mean nothing. And that only brings attention that you really don't want, depending on who you are as a person, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Some people get robbed out here.
Yeah, robbed.
Especially now.
It's
Oh my
just
God.
the wrong type of attention that I knew at the end of the day, even during my search and during that time, I knew I had so much more in me. I was kind of lowering my frequency just to sell my soul for this dollar, right?
Okay, wow. That's a good point.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Black is the New Rich, your podcast.
Black is the New Rich. I just told you the backstory, but it's basically it's community based. Yes, there is financial literacy, and that's a major component. But I've done a lot of episodes on mental health because it's big. So financial literacy and mindset is kind of what I'm geared towards, because honestly, at the end of the day, if you don't have your mind right, this finance is not going to mean anything anyway. You know? So,
Now, are you doing it full time, podcasting?
No, I actually still have a job.
What's the job?
I work for BioSteel.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. It's a sports hydration drink, and actually, it's like my first real job in like 12 years.
Good for you.
Yeah. Fuck. It's a little. It was a different transition because I haven't worked in so long, like a traditional job. So like, honestly, like, I even remember telling my manager maybe like a month ago, I'm like, bro, like, thank you for giving me this opportunity, because honestly, if I were you, you could have fired me a long time ago. You know, the way I was
Podcast
late.
comes first.
Yeah, not even that, just because I was like, remember, I'm so used to running on my own time, so it's like being late, it's like kind of like not doing something properly, or like, so I had to like get those skills back, and I don't regret it for anything. Like, I love the job. I love what it teaches me. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed those skills to propel my own business now forward. So like, I was just talking to him the other day. I'm like, yo, thank you for not firing me, because this could have been an easy exit. But yeah.
Amazing.
Now, tell us one of your favorite podcast guests that you had and why.
Other than Elphi.
Good answer. Good answer.
No, here's the thing.
I'm right here.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't necessarily have a favorite, only because every guest that I have on, I'm genuinely interested in their story. And I'm a conversationalist. So it's not, honestly, if I wasn't interested, I wouldn't bring them on. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
well, let me rephrase that question. Like, what's the most memorable moment on your podcast thus far?
One of the most memorable moment was probably Omar's story, because obviously he had a tragic story with his twin brother and stuff like that.
Wow.
And that one was very heartfelt because I got to feel his, situation in that moment and try to understand what he was going through, because he let that go. He let that he was very vulnerable on that one.
Wow.
So that one was impactful for sure. Yeah.
Amazing.
And now I know that you recently created an ebook for the podcast. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was bored.
We actually used it, by the way. Thank you.
How'd you find it?
On your Instagram, I saw you promoting it.
No, sorry. How did you find the book? Like actually?
It was great. Getting started, we had no idea how to start a podcast. So knowing about Buzzsprout and all the different avenues on how to upload our podcast, just the simple things.
Yeah.
It really helps. It takes away the time that we have to research those things.
Yeah, and it was easy to follow, which was big for me at least.
I try to make it as basic as possible. Honestly, I understand that podcasting is still an emerging thing.
Yeah,
and there will be a lot more to come. So
100%.
Why not, monetize helping people how to start their podcast.
Right.
So,
and how long did it take you to monetize your podcast?
Well, on YouTube,
yeah,
That's
7 months.
awesome.
It was at 4,000 hours, 1,000 subscribers.
right.
It was tough though because I was asking people subscribe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you feel supported?
Yeah.
Do you feel supported by the Black community? Because the title is Black is the New Rich.
Yeah.
Majority of your guests are Black, correct?
Yeah.
How do you feel? Do you feel like the Black community supports you?
You know what? I'll be very honest. I do. They do support me. I do notice a change in the city, and people are starting to come together, and I love that. Sometimes do you feel like, there could be more support? Yes, but at the same time, everybody has their own shit going on, and they're like, oh shit, can I swear? sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, everyone has their own stuff going on in their life, and I understand that, so I'm not gonna make it about me all the time. And at the end of the day, whether you support me or not, you're gonna see me.
Okay.
Ooh, I love that.
That's right. Do you feel like you're getting more support now that your podcast, you've grown your following a lot?
Yeah.
From when you started to now?
For sure. And here's the thing about the support thing. I don't mind if people are late on the boat, because a lot of people start stuff and finish early. So how draining would it be that you're always that person to support everyone's new thing, but they're not fulfilling it right through. Right. So I don't mind if people take their time. Okay, is this a real thing, or is this going to be one of those overnight 3-month things? So I don't mind if they're late to the boat.
What about merch? I see that you did come out with a line.
Okay, peep the hat.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is not even out yet. It's not even out yet, but
Okay.
it'll be out in about a couple weeks. Merch.
Is that a good revenue stream?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Merch is a very good revenue stream. I can't lie. Yeah, merch, I will push merch forever, and as I grow, I notice more people interested in the merch. My tracksuits will be in Square One soon.
No way.
Amazing.
That's sick.
In one of your podcast guest store, right?
Yeah.
Wow, you see how the networking just
What's the
comes
store?
full circle?
Yeah, it'll be in Shop 20 Inc.
Oh, right. Dope.
Yeah. So, merch is something I'll do forever because it's a way that people can feel a part of the brand. And I want to be this is a brand for the people, right? So it's not like Nike where you have your select athletes that people want to be like.
Yeah.
This brand is more for just empowering everyone where they are right now. That make sense?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it doesn't use child laborers like Nike does. So, hey, everyone knows it.
Hey, I'm so tired of that Nike sponsorship. I'm just kidding.
Nah, they let go of my boy Kyrie, and I'm not feeling that. So.
Yeah. Oh man, Kyrie is a king.
Yeah, he is. He knows what time it is, and it's sad that they're doing them like that. But it is what it is. It's what's needed so for other people can wake up.
The sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, pretty much, and he knows it.
I hear that. What's your background, Cory?
Okay, so both of my parents are born in the UK, but my grandfather on my mom's side is St. Lucian, and my grandmother on my mom's side is Jamaican. On my dad's side, my grandmother is Jamaican, and my grandmother's Jamaican, and my grandfather was Guyanese. So I'm all over the place.
Okay, so you're not half white.
No.
Okay, because looking at you,
I know.
I thought you were half white,
No, definitely not. Cause you're darker than me, man.
I'm a
Brother sister vibes.
That's why I do not date mixed guys. Okay, disclaimer. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm not half white.
Yeah.
Okay, so I only brought that up because I feel like most people would probably assume you're half white just judging from your complexion.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Because I've experienced this being a biracial woman. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about colorism? Like, of course, you've experienced some privilege from having a lighter complexion. Mm-hmm. What do you think about colorism? Because it goes both ways too. Like
from colorism within the let's say the Black community, this whole light skin, dark skin thing. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I feel like there's so many issues that we as individuals, we can't focus on every single issue. Have I heard it growing up? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I look at colorism in my own community, like, for example, like they're all my brothers and sisters and I love them and I know they love me, but they're just projecting for whatever pain that they're going through. So, and I understand that. And yeah, so I'd rather fight something else, you know what I'm saying? And then because they're my brother and my sister, I'll, if needed, I'll talk to them in the corner. Yeah. And I don't want to put that really out there as so other people could be like, look, they're all fighting each other because that's already out here. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very careful about that stuff.
Yeah. And I think it happens on both spectrums, like whether you're on the lighter complexion or you're on the darker complexion, like it can happen to you on either or. Like, you could be ostracized because you're lighter or because you're darker. Like, I don't think there's one's more advantageous than the other, to be honest.
And I don't think it's personal. Right. And as long as I know it's not personal, then what are we talking about? So at the end of the day, if I do get certain comments, I'm just going to brush it off because I understand that you've probably went through some things in your life where you felt disadvantaged, and I feel compassion towards that because it's bullshit no matter what. And at the end of the day, I want them or us to know that I fight for all of us.
That's amazing. Yeah, I definitely want to bring that up because you're standing for the Black community, you're supporting the Black community, and your brand is built on Black is the new rich. And it's funny because it's nice to get other perspectives too, because I think the conversation is important not only in our community but like other communities as well. Magda, did you know what colorism was?
Yes.
That's great. I like my spicy white. No, it's important. Like, how do you feel like learning about colorism has kind of impacted how you view the Black community?
Girl,
did you even know it
leave
existed?
me out of this conversation. You know what? I don't, honestly, like I won't lie. There's not much thought that goes into it for me. Honestly, when Elphi kind of mentioned from her perspective, how she has witnessed colorism,
especially
that's kind of
in Hamilton too.
Yeah.
Okay, why are we at the Hamilton?
The hammer.
I can only imagine it's a little different up there.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I lived out there. So. What was the question?
Because all the mixed kids are from Hamilton, though, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of them. I just feel like back in the day, there was a safe space for, like, parents, your guys' parents, to go in Hamilton. And
man, I'm born in Congo. My mom's Romanian. I am not claiming Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Different sides of the world. I love it.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
Mississauga.
Okay, those are my ends too.
Yeah, what high school you go to?
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Trust me. People were so catty in Gonzaga. I can talk about it all day. Fake.
Yeah. So you grew up around like Air Mills area?
Yeah, Air Mills.
Oh, okay. Look at Cory trying to take over the podcast. It's hard being on that side, huh?
Welcome, like a true podcast host.
Who's your dream podcast guest?
Dream podcast guest. I would say I would love to talk to Kyrie, because I would love to just get into his thought process and create a space where he feels safe in telling his side of the story. Wow. And his journey. I would like to talk to Dr. Umar Johnson. he's spicy and but I feel like he's very logical. And who else? I would like to talk to LeBron just to see certain things about where he's really thinking. And
I would like to ask LeBron if he's part of the Illuminati. I'm just kidding.
You know the answer. All right, guys, let me do a quick shameless plug here. It was a good time to do it. So today's podcast has been brought to you by Steriball, the only toothbrush protector you need. It's perfect for travel, just as Elphi, or everyday use. It keeps it fresh and clean for 3 months with essential oils like mint, tea tree oil, and others, as well as protecting your toothbrush from contamination and debris. Head on over to steriball.ca to get yours, and we'll include some promo codes for you in our description below.
Perfect.
That was excellent. Jeez.
Thank you.
That was
I'm
good.
made for this.
That was good. That was good.
All right. So we're going to head on over to our portion of the game. So as you can see, we did a little bit of upgrades. We have our beautiful sipper spill wheel. Mm-hmm. You'll spin it, and whether it lands on sip or spill, you either take a shot of the mystery liquid or you answer a question. If you don't want to answer the question, feel free to take a shot as well.
Cool.
All right, so let's start it.
Spin the wheel. Ooh.
Oh, spill. Elphi, ask that spicy question.
Okay. Have you ever had a guest on your podcast that you didn't vibe with? Be honest.
No. I've had guests that were more shy, so it just took a little bit more work to get things out of them. But not vibe with? Nah, not at all.
That's good.
Honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Spin the wheel.
Spin it again.
I like the sound.
Damn, it really wants you to talk today, huh? All right, I'm going to ask a spicy question.
All right.
Have you ever gotten a boner when shooting a nude model?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Keep
I can
it professional.
explain it, to be honest.
Okay.
Explain.
Because honestly,
I want to know.
When I'm in work mode, I don't see when I'm doing nude photography, I'm almost desensitized because I'm looking for a certain picture and a certain outcome. So my hormones are not raging like that. To be honest, I'm super desensitized. I was desensitized to almost like the female body, but not in a bad way. It's just I didn't look at it sexually in those terms because you know what? I was super scared and super careful because one creepy vibe and your whole career is done. So I just made sure that I checked myself every day when I was doing it, to be honest.
Yeah. No, that's so true. You gotta maintain that reputation.
100%, and it's scary. People walk on a fine line when they do that type of job. You know?
Yeah, and you want them to feel comfortable too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think not all photographers are good at making people feel.
You know why?
Why?
In my opinion, because they don't get women in their normal life. It's true.
Facts.
You know what? That does make sense.
Yo, that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Do you think, just kind of piggybacking off that, do you think a lot of nude photographers do get into the industry just to get that attention from women?
Absolutely.
Damn.
100%.
Ladies, do your research before you book anything.
Damn.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good thought. All right, spin that wheel.
Hey, all right, you gotta sip.
Take a shot.
So anything you want.
Don't peek.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Don't worry, it's all edible.
Cheers.
What was that?
What was this?
Was it alcohol?
No, this was what was this?
I don't know. Could have been water.
It tastes like spicy something.
Oh, is that Clamato?
No.
Okay. It was Clamato for sure.
Okay. You got a good, decent one.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Spin the
that
wheel.
wheel. Ooh.
Okay.
What is it?
Spill.
Spill. All right, cool.
What's one thing that you think the Black community needs? He said, ooh.
Yeah, that's a deep one. Mm-hmm. What I think we need is less attention to entertainment. Because yes, entertainment is good. Rappers, hoopers, people of sports, that's good. But we're so much more. And just less attention to entertainment and more attention to other things.
Wow, I love that answer because a lot of people say, especially I find when people are growing up young Black boys, it's you want to go D1, you want to get into the rap game, but it's we don't focus on trades, we don't focus on certain skill sets.
We don't even focus on the mindset. We don't even focus on like what it's like to be peaceful. What's like to have a bulletproof mindset. We're just pushing our kids to be this superstar.
Right.
And that's why
we're more than that.
More than that, and not only more than that is that we push, and then you notice a lot of athletes suffer from mental health. Yeah. Why? Because they didn't do the work when they're young, or their parents didn't guide them in that type of way.
And then if you don't make it, because it's a 1% chance, then your dreams are crushed.
Your dreams are crushed. It's hard to bounce back because you've developed a legend in a different type of world, and then when you have to cross over, it's like no one really cares anymore. So it's a difficult transition. So less about entertainment.
Yeah, see, not a lot of people talk about that side.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great answer.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, spin that wheel. Hey.
Spin that wheel. Hey. We got remix that.
Yeah. All right, cool. So it's spill. My question is there a fine line between sleazy and sexy when it comes to photography?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's okay. So obviously photography is subjective.
Right.
My goal was to make it less sexual and sleazy and more artistic and natural work or art.
Is that fully in your control though? Because some women, it depends on the women you choose, no?
No, it depends. Like it's up to me to like direct where I want this shoot to go. Like every female that I've ever shot could do certain things to make it look super like sleazy, I guess. But like it's up to me in the direction and the vision I had. So yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. All right, spin that wheel.
Hot seat.
Okay,
Sip,
okay. Giving a little bit of a break. All right.
No peeking.
Sorry.
He didn't like that one.
What was that?
That's a cheap shit.
Was that like
found that
juice?
in Elphi's pantry.
Girl.
What was that? It was like tomato juice?
Yeah, clamato.
Oh. Jeez. Damn.
You don't like clamato? You don't like Caesars?
My boy said, we gotta run that face back.
You know it. That's going to be the promo. Sorry,
man.
Cory.
That's all good.
Spin that wheel, broski.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spill. Okay.
All right.
Tell us something that nobody knows about you that cannot be looked up on social media. Exclusive.
Something that nobody knows about me?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
You gotta give us something.
Something that nobody knows about me.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
It could be personal life. It can be a fetish.
Whoa. Can you give me an example of like what would yours be?
Yeah, what's your fetish?
Oh no, what does someone not know about you? That's not searchable.
I'll tell you. I can think of one for her.
Okay.
What's yours too?
For her? You know how we met? This girl, I had posted Rolling Loud, like the flyer, and then she's like, oh, I love Lil Jerk. I love this. I'm like, girl, you listen to rap music? Come to find out, she knows way more than I do. I'm like, this girl, we're in the car, she's rapping every lyric. I'm like, bro, where did you come from?
Well, okay, one thing that not a lot of people know about me is I actually grew up Jane and Finch, but up until the age... but, we moved out when I was 9.
Okay, cool.
Because that's when things started.
Something like that.
So she got a little hood in her.
Don't fuck with me. Okay.
Oh, here's something that no one really knows about me is that growing up, my mom forced me to go to tennis camp, and I thought that was kind of
cool.
That's dope. That's so dope. I used to play tennis professionally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah?
Tennis is sick.
Though, but whatever. But yeah, she used
Good
to force me to go
exercise.
to tennis camp. I thought it was bullshit, but it's what it is.
What does your mom do for work, by the way? Curious.
She's a legal secretary.
Damn, that's great.
Yeah.
Got some nice legal advice on hand.
Yeah.
What about your dad?
Spin the wheel.
Or take a sip. Oh, you gotta spell it.
It's your turn, Magda.
Okay. I would ask you, what is your relationship status?
Oh, I'm single. Single.
Why are you single?
Why am I single? Honestly, to be honest, right now I'm super selfish.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm bringing Black is New Rich off the ground, and it requires a lot of my time. Plus, I have a job as well.
Yeah.
And my idea of a relationship, like I want to be a provider, right? So if I feel like I can't do that for the both of us, then I'm kind of wasting someone else's time, and I'm wasting my time too.
I love that. Yeah.
I feel like now I'll be 34 in May. I'm done with the ride or die stage. Like
right.
That's past.
Yeah.
Like that. I feel like that can happen in your 20s. People may disagree, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm just done with that stage, you know. So that's why I'm single.
Yeah. Relationship is a focus, you know, just like anything else.
And I believe, you know, for a healthy one to be good or to maintain a healthy relationship, it takes a lot of energy. And that time and that energy that I have, I want to put in towards my business. So I'm like, you know, I'm super single because of that.
I love that. That's a good reason to be single.
Thank you.
We'll do 2 or 3 more of the super spills.
Okay.
Yeah,
more?
spin it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. They're good questions, by the way.
Sit.
Fuck. Oh, this one's good.
That was good?
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty fire, actually.
You know, we put some A-grade stuff in there, too. And that was from my pantry, okay? Okay, it's all good. Spin that wheel.
Yeah. Damn.
Sit.
You must be thirsty, huh?
Again? Sit. Damn.
Oh, no one's going to want to be on this podcast
Also?
after you, Cory.
No, this is torture.
Also, my apologies for my laugh, okay, guys? He said torture.
What did that taste like?
Garbage. Oh my God. Sorry, that was trash.
So
I'm actually crying.
let's do one more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like our spinner?
Yeah, it's dope.
Ooh, and the last one is a spill.
All right.
Okay. Do you regret anything in life?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why?
I just believe, you know, if one thing were to change in my past, I wouldn't be here. It could be the simplest things. It could be like walking into a door. I wouldn't be here. That would change the trajectory of the frequency and what happened and the events that happen after. And I don't think anyone should regret anything. It's a part of life. The human experience is to what I want to say. The human experience is to experience like suffering, trials, tribulations, struggle.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean living there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's part of the human experience.
People forget that part. A lot of people are just living through the tragedies, but it's like you're supposed to get over it.
You're supposed to bounce back.
Yeah.
Actually, but here's the thing: society doesn't want you to bounce back because they want you in a slave mind, right? So I understand that as well.
Yeah, and there's so many like pharmaceuticals. They live off of people not being
exactly.
well.
We could talk about that.
Yeah, that's another whole podcast episode.
We could have some spicy comments towards that.
I have another question for you. So since you've been doing your podcast and you've been learning from a lot of people, what's some of the messages that you think is important to let our viewers and listeners know? Like maybe one of the biggest things that you've learned that's helped you with your. 'Cause I see you're in the gym where you're waking up early.
5 a.m.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You're on it. So share some things that have helped you.
Honestly, it's just being disciplined and being consistent. I feel like no matter what, if I'm disciplined and consistent, I'm gonna win no matter what. I'm not in control of the time. I'm not God, right? But if I'm consistent and disciplined and doing the necessary things for my future, I'm gonna win.
Right.
You know, so that's all I can really say. Be disciplined and consistent. If you have an idea, start today.
Right.
Like, don't wait for the perfect time. Like, I didn't start this podcast on some perfect type stuff. I just did it and learned on the way.
Right.
I'm introverted. To be in front of the camera was super. It was scary, to be honest. But fuck it, I don't care. Just go.
Yeah.
Just go. And that's about it.
Just go.
Just go.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Do you feel like waking up at 5 a.m. is it a change in productivity versus waking up at like 9, 8?
Yeah, for sure. One, you get a couple more hours in, and two, I feel like if you wake up at 9, like you kind of gotta move at the rhythm of the world. When I wake up at 5, I move at the rhythm of myself.
Ooh, I love that.
You know, so like the first hour is just dedicated to myself, and I feel like that's a game changer in how I approach my day. and my mindset's just a lot different. And the fact that I know that most people aren't waking up at 5 a.m. gives me an edge.
Yeah.
And I want to edge because I want to win.
What time do you go to sleep?
It varies. To be honest, I try like 10:30, but sometimes it goes to 12.
Yeah.
But I'll still wake up at 5, or I'll try to, because that hard wake up will remind me like you gotta go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
You know. But then again, like
I know.
I'll be very honest. I did the first time I was waking up at 5, I did 66 days in a row, and I'll tell you guys honest truth, to do it again has been way harder than the first time. But then again, I give myself grace for not waking up at 5 sometimes. Like today, I didn't wake up at 5 because I knew I had to be here, and I just wanted to be.
It's the weekend.
Yeah, it's the weekend. I have to give yourself grace, and
Yeah.
I'm learning that in my journey right now. Giving yourself grace for, quote unquote, messing up.
Right.
Yeah.
We're only human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Human experience.
All right. Awesome, Cory. Let the viewers know and the watchers where they can find you online. This is your time to plug your stuff in.
Oh, I bet. So you can find me at my personal account is corycash.co. I'm not really too active on there. I don't really post too much, but in the story I do actually. But follow the podcast on Black is New Rich on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. That's about it.
Amazing. And what can you tell our viewers and listeners for some upcoming things that you have planned?
Oh yeah, I got some stuff in the bag.
Yeah.
So I'm coming out with an app. I feel like it's going to be a game changer for the community, especially the Black community, just because I feel like we could be more intentional where we spend our money, because a lot of people say support Black businesses, invest in Black business, but what does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
Right.
I'm asking you. What does that mean?
I'll tell you.
Yeah, go ahead. What does it mean?
Or
what does it look like?
Well, I like to buy, for example, books. I'm a big reader, so I would buy ebooks from Black-owned or Black-written books. There's this one guy in particular. He's from the hood, so I thought, hey, I'd rather buy his book and read his perspective. It was actually quite funny. I enjoyed it. Versus just like someone from Indigo. You know what I mean?
I feel so. Here's the thing. So actually, I said support Black businesses. I don't even like to say support anymore because I want to say invest, just because I feel like support is like a charity case, and I'm tired of us being like looked at as a charity case, like support Black business, like we're begging.
Yeah.
We're not begging.
Right.
Okay, invest. So with all that being said, I created a app that has a directory. Like for example, if you do need that Black mortgage agent, you're gonna find it. If you need that real estate agent, you're gonna find it in that app.
Cool.
And various different services, and I'm focusing on like more financial services because, again, we have so much makeup. No disrespect to the makeup artists and all that, but we have so much of those. So I wanna I want us to be more financially literate. So like the mortgage services and the financial advisors, they'll be on that directory, and it'll be all Black. So
that's amazing.
That's coming up.
Speaking of Black owned, I'm just plugging in my own hair growth oil. Okay, the meetyouatthetop oil.
Gang.
But yeah, for me, I would say investing in Black businesses means you don't even, obviously if you're putting your money into the Black businesses is amazing, but man, it's free to like, to repost, to share.
Yeah. So investing doesn't always mean buying. It can mean those things like sharing, commenting, liking, telling a friend that could use your product, for example.
It's free.
Yeah, and it goes a long way, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
it does.
Another thing is too, like for the last couple months, I've been studying the Orthodox Jew community, right? And understanding how they are such a small population, but they have so much wealth in this world.
Yes.
And like for example,
They got lots of control.
Yeah, they got lots of control because they're very tight knit. And here's the thing, like I'll make it very simple. Like if you're a Jewish real estate agent, you're going to go to a Jewish mortgage broker that's going to deal with Jewish banks. And because they're so faith-based and they're so tight-knit within their faith, their 10% is going to their communities, their children's schools, and things to uplift their community. When I know this is a spicy comment, but for the Black community, a lot of our churches have robbed us, right? And it just is what it is. It just is what it is. Yeah, it just, so I just feel like we could do better in those type of things. And if I could bring this idea like an app that can circulate our dollar, we'll be a lot more conscious of where we spend our dollar.
Oh, that's great.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Elphi, close us off.
Yeah. Just want to say God will never rob you, though. The church might, but the Lord Jesus Christ will not, okay?
Church and faith are two different things.
Absolutely,
I strongly believe
I
that.
agree, and that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, thank you so much, Cory, for being on Meet You at the Top podcast.
Dang.
For everyone who's tuning in, we hope that you learned something, and we'll see you there.
Meet you at the top, yeah. Magda and Elphi on lock, yeah. And they ain't never gonna stop, yeah. Said they gon' meet you at the top. Make sure you tune in and watch. If you wanna see us, meet you at the top.